Wana Wheat Ninny Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. So hopefully you've sat there and watched through my super long first video on this. This is the second part of my NBK KO not Devastator video. So if you want to see the bots and the alt modes, go back to my first video. There'll be a link probably appearing somewhere around the screen right about now, but there'll also be a link down in the description. It's about 40 odd minutes long, so enjoy it. In this video we're going to take a look at how we're going to combine all of these pieces to make the one and the only not Devastator. So what I wanted to do first was just take you through a few things on the transformation I had. Tabs all over the place with this when I was transforming these guys into the modes to actually combine. This is the second time I've actually combined this version of Devastator, and I swear I keep finding new tabs that I should have plugged in last time and things like that. The instructions or the destructions are not super clear on this. So definitely hunt around while you're transforming this and make sure you get all the tabs in the right place. Now obviously this is a discount Devastator, and there is one thing I wanted to show you, and that's these. So these little pods that stick on the back of the of two of the units actually open up like so, and out comes Devastator's fists, and you close them back up, and then these attach on. Now the fists themselves are great, the fists are fully articulated, but with this being a cheaper KO, they do suffer from, and you can see it quite clearly on my spur marks, quite rampant. In fact, some get it in focus, some plastic still there on the side. The hands, I would say, definitely suffer more than anything else with this. I open up the other one as well. There are a few on my figures, but this more than anything is where I see all of the burr marks, definitely in and around the fingers. You can see them there quite badly. So nothing really to worry about, but just something to think about when you are picking up this. Articulation on the hands is really good joints. They're all very stiff. They're not too loose. I don't know how well he can grip stuff, we'll find out later, but yeah, you know, he's got a good range of motion within the hand there. Okay, so now that I've rearranged my booth, cleared it, set up my tripod, we can actually start to look at Devastator's legs, and already these are huge. I had to set up my tripod because I just can't get these guys in shot unless I set up this, so apologies, you're going to see the rest of the mangled booth that needs redoing, but you'll see a little bit behind the scenes, I guess. So first of all, we'll take a look at Mixmaster. So Mixmaster here, really nice looking foot, still plenty of detailing, articulation on the foot, so that's why he's got this hip flex, so you can pose the foot, and then he also clips backwards and forwards here. Everything connects at the knee joint just here, and then you got stability because this bit disconnects from here and goes to here. One thing to think about when I was transforming this guy, his face actually fell off here. I've put it back on, but obviously, like we know, this is a KO version, so something just to be a little bit aware of there, I guess. Then we've got Scrapper. Then we've got Scrapper here. So Scrapper, yeah, Scrapper's really cool. Something that, as I keep saying, I keep finding new holes, new pegs on each one of these. There's actually two pegs that I couldn't see before for this bucket to fit into, so when I transformed this last time, this was kind of sliding up and down the place. So make sure you've got these pretty solid together like that, and then that'll create a nice stable base for the bottom. and this, because one problem you've got with this, you've also got the wheels, so his foot can slide around a little bit, and again the joint connects there. Then bring in my favorite to connect up, we bring in Hook. So Hook transforms into what will become the legs. We bring this bit down and this bit down. Yeah, he's got this little peen arse hanging down here, which is a bit weird. So his gun, like I say, his gun just connects in there, and it's kind of the linchpin for the whole of Devastator then. So if I try and go around without knocking my camera over, just bring this in now. I hook this in, and I hook the other one in as well. Yep. And then we have kind of Devastator's legs. Okay, so then we have Long Haul perched on the top there, looking fantastic. Height wise, so you can get some idea of the height of this guy. His Earthrise Prime, so you can see this guy is huge, absolutely ginormous. Now you get to see the top of my awful booth. So what we do next is we bring in Hook. So Hook comes in now. Hook hides the head of Devastator inside one of the ports that are on the side, so that was here. And this hook here also detaches, which I'll show you in a bit. But first of all, his head here. Let's have a look at the head detail on this guy. Yeah, that's Devastator, all right. Very, very nice. One also little addition that we have here is his eyes light up as well, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, you can have the eyes light up on Devastator as well. So that's a pretty cool, nice little addition. He very simply, there's two holes in the back here and here, and you just stick that on the back there, and just clip these in place just there, like so. And then you know that you've got the body on the Devastator then. So that's his body locked into place. Then you bring out his arms. So first of all, the first arm goes on here like so. Just locks into place. Second arm on the other side, and then that just locks into place like so. And there is pretty much most of the body. Next thing, we bring his little handies in. They just connect on the bottom pegs, twist, and then the bottom pegs and twist. There we go. So one final thing to give my Devastator, and that is Devastator's classic chest piece. That just sits, I just bring him a little closer. That just sits here in that section there. And there you have it, the NBK Devastator. So this guy is absolutely huge. Like I've said, had to readapt my booth to make him fit. The detailing on this guy is really, really good. He locks together pretty well. I'll take you through a couple of things now. So I'm just going to take my camera off the tripod. So we're going to go a bit freeform with this, guys. So let's have a look at the head sculpt here. So the head sculpt is nice, and don't forget he's got those lovely red glowing eyes that I showed you before. The detailing, as we know, is already nice. You've got his lovely Hands here, very posable, really cool. Then you've got the feet down the bottom, and everything is really good. Bring him round to the back. He's a little bit plainer, obviously at the back. There's no real lock here on the just on the arms, so there's always a danger that they can just slide out. There is turns and stuff like that, but there's no real lock. Like the feet, the legs, they lock in really well here and here. The body locks down as well, but the arms just don't lock down too well. The heads on these little spurs here that do pop out. Sometimes you can see mine just wants to pop out a little bit there. So a few things to think about there and to look at when you are building this guy and posing this guy. You know, there is some little challenges here and there, but overall for me, not bad at all. Okay, so now we're going to have a little look at the hand articulation. So you know how we looked at that before, so you can see you get good articulation here on the hand. The hand also gets another joint here where it can wave up, yeah, and it can wave down and turn, and then of course this hand here gets some articulation, and it also does go out a little bit as well, so you can get quite good articulation on his arm that you can see there, and back round again, and that gets a full 360 there on his arm. So that's quite cool. Head is a full 360 on a ball joint, gets a little bit of maneuverability there as well. Within the hips get some lovely little hip swivel, but the wheels, you may need to just lift the wheels up like that to get the full hip swivel. He also gets a little bit of crunch there on his abs due to some of the transformation as well. Legs, you get a nice little knee joint bend there and some articulation on the side with a nice click. Can he pass the ninja kick test? I'm willing to bet no, he's nowhere near strong enough to pass a ninja kick test. So, whoop. Okay, so that's something to note. He does not pass the ninja kick test. So, if we have a little look now at his accessories in this mode. So in the accessories in this mode, you can remove the crane like so, and you can then with the crane you can change it around. You can pull this piece out, put this up, and then he can, trying to work around this camera, so he can then hold this in his hand to hold as a bit of a mace, but I'm not sure if his fingers are strong enough to actually hold it. They are, so he can just about hold it. So yeah, you know, his fingers aren't hold enough to hold his primary weapon. He doesn't come with a with the gun like some Devastators do. Let's see if the other hand is a bit stronger. So the articulation here on the hands is pretty good, but it's not strong, not even holding strong enough to hold the weapon really that he comes with. But for me, I'm not too interested in that because it's not how I want to. Yeah, there we go. So this hand he can just about hold it. The other hand is weaker, so he can hold it if you want, but for me, I'm not actually that interested in having him hold it anyway. So now we're going to do a very quick size comparison. So just to bring in for size comparison wise, here's Earthrise Prime, so you can see already. Angle this down a little bit so we can see everything. He's bigger than Earthrise Prime. If I bring in Megs, Siege Megs, he is really much bigger than Siege Megs as well. I think he looks really good next to these Siege and Earthrise figures. And just to show the true height of this guy, the biggest bot that I had before I got this guy was Siege Jetfire, and as you can see, he is a little bit taller than that. So he's about 40 centimeters tall, which makes him much taller than Siege Jetfire. So finally, would I recommend this guy? I have to say it depends on what you want from your Devastator. For me, I want a Devastator that's going to sit on my shelf, has posability, and looks pretty cool. I'm not going to get this guy off the shelf and start to play with him and start to like damage him and stuff like that. He's not a kid's toy. He's definitely a display model. If you want something that looks cool on a shelf, I would say get it. You know, I would get another one of these in a heartbeat. And I think he's definitely worth the £30 that I paid for him to sit on a shelf. He looks cool. He can pose in all the poses I want him to pose in, and he looks pretty good. For you, depending on what your needs are, if you want something that's for kids and to play with all the time, maybe this is not the one for you. This is definitely a display collector's model. I hope you've liked these last two videos. I've had some new subscribers, so thank you very much for subscribing. And if you want to stay connected to what I'm doing here, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back again with another video very soon. So thank you very much. Cheers. See you in a bit, guys. Bye.